Hello friends, Pastor Daniel Gouveia here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Crucified for Me, and thank you so much for checking out this review. Today I'm taking a look at the New King James Topaz Reference Edition by Cambridge Bibles. This is a much anticipated Bible. The Topaz came out first in the ESV, English Standard Version, and now the New King James lovers, like myself, have this wonderful Bible in their favorite translation. So it comes in this beautiful, beautiful box. I just love the boxes by Cambridge Bibles. And it is a clamshell box, as you can see. It retails for $335, so it is an expensive Bible. It is an investment. You need to be sure that you really want to buy it, in my opinion, and that you're going to use it, that it makes sense for you. For now, you can buy it for $240 at evangelicalbible.com. I don't know if the price is going to go up soon or not, but this is the back of the cover. You can pause if you need to. I have the blue goatskin leather edition, and it is a beautiful, beautiful dark blue goatskin leather cover. I want to give you an idea by comparing it to, I know it's a very different Bible, but you can get an idea of the color if you have the New King James Thin Line Premier in blue that came out recently. I reviewed this Bible. I think it's an amazing Bible for the price. I think it's awesome. You can get this Bible right now for $104. And this, you have to pay at least $240. So you can see here the difference in the grain. And I'm sure that leather connoisseurs will find a lot of reasons why this is more expensive and better and all that. But still, I think it's pretty amazing that you can buy this for $100. Give you a closer look here to the grain. Now, this is natural grain, the Cambridge Bible, and the Thomas Nelson as well, Premier Thin Line. Another one that I can compare it to is the Schuyler Quentel an Imperial Blue Goatskin. I have this one here in 28 GSM from the first batch of Bibles, or first printing, however you want to call it. This is how mine looks, and you can see here the similarity in the grain and also the difference in coloration of these two Bibles. So, yeah. So you have Holy Bible in the front. Some people don't like it. They say, well, I already know it's a Bible. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. I like it. I like Bibles that do not have anything in the front cover, but I'm okay with a Bible that has Holy Bible. I think it's still very, very beautiful and attractive. And in the spine, you have 5 raised hubs. And you have in the top in gold Holy Bible, and then New King James Version. And then in the bottom, you have Cambridge. You see it is perimeter stitched, and the stitching is dark blue. It's really well done. It has a little bit of a yap. I can say it's a generous yap, although not too generous, okay? And you open it up, and of course, the main thing you notice is that this does not have a gilt line around the perimeter in the liner. That's an option that I'm not uncomfortable with. I love gilt lines. I mean, if you open the Bible, definitely if you have a little bit of a yap, the gilt line adds a little touch to it. But I can't say that this bothers me. Honestly, I can't look down on a Bible because it doesn't have a gilt line, really. The corner work is not the best that I've seen, even by Cambridge. I have other Cambridge Bibles that actually have better corner work. These are very similar to my Schuyler Quintel Bibles. This is a leather liner. The cover is very supple, not too supple, not to a point that would bother me, no, but it is very supple. And I may be wrong, but I think the New King James Quintel has a cover that is a little bit thicker. I have 2 here. And yes, definitely the cover of the New King James Quintel to me feels a little bit thicker. Leather liner, also in dark blue. It's wonderful. It is edge lined, although when I opened it up, I could barely notice the edge lining visibly, although it is here, and it is so well done, tremendously well crafted. You have a gold gilding, and it's blue under gold. Let me show you here. I think you probably could see that in my introduction, but here you can see it. You can see the result of the signatures as well, how this Bible is so well built. It is Smite Soon, and it has a white and blue headband and a white and blue or blue and white tailband. Has these 3 really nice ribbons. They are double satin, and they have different shades of blue, dark blue, a blue that is really vivid, and then one lighter blue, almost baby blue, but not quite. It's not that light of a blue, okay? So this is beautiful. They're not very long and wide, but to me they are, well, let's put it this way, better than all the ribbons that I've seen in Cambridge Bibles. And you have this thick sheet of paper here after the end paper. You have overcast stitching, as you can see. Another sheet of thick paper. And you have the presentation page. I just love the design. I think it's beautiful. This Bible belongs to the family record of born, father, mother, born, and born, father, mother, who were married, children, given names, birth date, marriages, between and place date, okay. So you can put all your family information here, marriages, grandchildren. This adds a lot of stability to the Bible. That's a part we don't like, right? It's interesting that all these are with blue lines around the sections where you write, and when you come to deaths, it's a nice touch. It's in black. I think it's a nice touch. Okay, so title page, the Holy Bible, New King James Version. And you have here the information page, Cambridge University Press. Feel free to pause if you need to. Okay. These are printed and bound in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood, and the paper is awesome. The 28 GSM and opaque paper. Very, very good paper. I've been using the same kind of paper in my Schuyler Quintel. Here you have the table of contents. And here you have the books of the Bible in alphabetical order. And the preface to the New King James Version. Then special abbreviations. Then the title page for the Old Testament. And here you have the text block. And it is pretty nice. One of the details that I really like, absolutely love it, is the way they did the title for the books, different books of the Bible. First of all, I absolutely love the font. I know this is maybe controversial, but it's my personal preference. I love this font. I like the fact that they have a part in red and the main title of the book in black. Has this little vertical line here. And the interesting thing is that they have aligned the title of the book to the right when it starts on a page on the right. And if you have a title of a book starting in a page that starts on the left page of the Bible, you will see that the title is aligned to the left, like here in Numbers. I just love that. It's really nice. Beautiful. Another thing that I absolutely love about this Bible is that it is a verse-by-verse format. A good New King James Premium Bible verse-by-verse format to me is precious. So I was really anticipating this Bible. I love verse-by-verse. And the verse numbers are in dark red. They stand out pretty well. The reading, when you want to find a verse, it's very easy. It's a 10-point font, very readable, a great space between the lines. It is line matched, so you don't see a whole lot of show through. When you're reading, it's just perfect in that regard. The chapter numbers are also in dark red, and you have the references on the outer margins, and they are in a small print, but it is readable. I have no problems in reading the references. And at the bottom of the page, you have translation notes. You have this horizontal line here dividing the text from the notes, and here you have a vertical line or vertical lines separating the text from the references. One thing that several people pointed out and that I did find distracting, and for me it's a kind of a deal breaker, is the fact that when you have poetry, you don't really have the poetry stanzas appearing as they normally appear in the New King James. And what they did was that they retained the capitalization from the beginning of each sentence of the stanzas in poetic format. So like in the middle of the text, you will find capitalization when you would normally not find it if you were just reading a text. Sometimes that can be a little bit distracting. I'm sure that for some people, they're just fine. For me, honestly, I'm a little bit OCD in these things. So this morning I was reading from Micah. I actually did my Bible reading with this Bible this morning. And I read 4 chapters in Micah. And honestly, I was very distracted. I just reading and a capitalized word appears when it should not appear in a regular text. So that to me is a little bit distracting, because if I want to use this Bible for everything, like I'm a pastor, so preparing sermons, giving Bible studies, and also reading and personal devotions and all that, this will mess with my brain. I just know that I won't be able to. I couldn't even focus very much. Of course, it's a new Bible, so I'm looking at all the details, but I couldn't even focus in the message too much just because to me this is distracting. Okay, so that is the main thing that I don't like about this Bible. That capitalization kind of messes me up. All the rest, I think it's an amazing, beautiful Bible. I personally like to see a little bit more space in the gutter. Although this is enough space, I mean, this won't give you any problems in terms of reading. But if, like me, sometimes you like to make some annotations in the gutter, this won't really work for that. I can show you here my Skylar. There you go. Look at John chapter 1. You know, I like to mark in my Bible, and yes, I'm looking forward to a New King James Wide Margin that is coming by Thomas Nelson, hopefully in March, right? But as you can see, I really use the gutter in my Bibles. So I like a little bit more space in the gutter, and this one to me is not enough. However, on the outer margins, the references are aligned at the top of the page. Actually, I think it really gives it a nice look. It kind of reminds me of a little butterfly here. Normally, when you have space that does not have references, and you do have a lot, as you can see, this gives you a lot of space for notes. So you still have pretty much 2/3 of the margin here without references, and you have a lot of space. You have a ton of space for notes, for annotations, for writing whatever you want here. And yeah, it's not a wide margin Bible, but it's almost like a wide margin when you don't have references. So you come to the end of the Old Testament, and you don't have any sheets of paper separating it from the New Testament, except the title page, New Testament, okay? Just a little word about the paper. This paper, 28 GSM paper, I honestly find it so close to the Schuyler Quintel 28 GSM. I was comparing the two, and really, I mean, it feels very, very similar, honestly. So I would expect that if I write and underline in this paper, it will just be the same as when I'm writing and underlining in the 28 GSM of the Schuyler Quintel. I've done that extensively, and I can tell you that this paper takes everything that I throw at it. So yeah, I wouldn't have a problem writing, underlining this paper. In the beginning, when I started using it, I was a little bit frustrated because the paper is thin and the pages are hard to turn. That kind of bothered me, but after I used my Schuyler Quintel for so long in 28 GSM, I've adapted to it, and right now it works for me. Even though I still prefer Bibles that are 32 or 36 GSM, that's what I prefer. Okay, so you come to the New Testament, and this is a red letter Bible, okay? So the red is a dark red. I love it. It's beautiful. And the verse numbers are in black when you have red, and they are in red when the text is in black. So that's a really nice touch. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you the page numbers are in the inside margins at the top of the page. I did not find a lot of inconsistency in the red. There's some, of course, but nothing that would bother me at all. So yeah, this is beautiful. I love it. I really love this font. I think it's really well designed by 2K Denmark, and the red letter goes all the way through Revelation. Now, one thing that some people were curious about was the quotations of the Old Testament in the New Testament. And as you can see, they simply have quotation marks, and they really are not in italics or in caps, so they don't stand out too much. You have Revelation with red letter as well for the words of Jesus. Okay. And you come to the end of the Bible, and you have one sheet of paper that is blank, and then you have Concordance, the title page of the Concordance. And here you go. And you have about 154 pages of concordance, if I'm not mistaken. So you have a ton of material here in terms of a Bible concordance that you can use if you so choose to. And when you come to the end of the concordance, you have a few sheets of this paper, still same paper, 28 GSM. So 5 sheets of paper and 10 pages that you can use for notes if you like. And then you have the Cambridge Bible maps. There's 15 of them, okay? And you have the map index with these beautiful little colors. And have all this information here about the maps, and then you have the maps in this glossy, shiny paper, but not too shiny. I normally don't like glossy, shiny paper, but this one is okay because it's not too shiny. So yeah, works well. These are the maps by Cambridge University Press. All right. Okay. And then you have 2 sheets of this thick paper in white, and then the end paper, and that's the end of the Bible. So an amazing, beautiful Bible. I love it. I love this goatskin cover. I love this leather. Although for me, it's a little bit supple. I like it when the covers are not as supple, maybe a little bit thicker, like my Schuyler Quintel. Even the Schuyler Quintel, to me, it's a little bit supple. When I preach, I like a Bible that doesn't bend too much from my hand. I can still preach with this, no problem. I wouldn't have any issues preaching with this one. But I just like covers that are a little bit thicker and not as flexible. Although this is definitely a high quality leather cover. And the other 2 issues that I really don't like too much is I prefer to have a little bit more space in the gutter. That's me, okay, just a personal thing. And I really don't like to have words that are capitalized in the middle of a verse. All the rest, I love it. Of course, even though I am a great fan of verse by verse, if I was a little bit short on money and I could buy just one, I would definitely go with the Schuyler Quintel. The paper is the same, 28 GSM. Just the differences are that the references are at the bottom of the page and they're centered at the bottom. The translation notes are actually in the corner of the page, in the outer inferior corner of the page. The text in the Schuyler Quintel is 11-point font. It's bigger. And it is a little bit bolder, and also the verse numbers, although this is a paragraph format, I prefer verse by verse, this is a paragraph format. However, the verse numbers are bold, and this works for me very well. I've been using it as my main Bible for a long time in the blue. And yeah, if I could just buy one, I would probably buy the Schuyler Quintel, I'm just being honest. Both of them are great. This one is $240 pre-order price, and this one is $205. And I mean no disrespect for the Topaz, because I think it's an awesome Bible. Of course, if you like verse by verse format like I do, and you are a fan of the New King James translation like I am, you also have this amazing option of the Thomas Nelson verse by verse center column classic reference edition that has an amazing amount of references and translation notes, and that has no problem with the capitalization because the poetic sections actually appear with the stanzas as they were created for the New King James. And you have this look in the poetic sections. The beginning of a sentence is capitalized when it's starting in a new line. And this is an excellent option as well, and way less expensive than this one. Of course, the argument can be made that this one is not such a high quality Bible as this one. So yeah, it's just options, you know. I've reviewed this Bible when it came out, and I think it's an excellent Bible, amazing Bible for the price, actually. Okay, friends, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. This is an amazing Bible, beautiful Bible, and I hope my review is useful for someone out there that wants to buy this Bible. If you can, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. give a like in this video if you like it, and I will see you on my next video, God willing. Alright, bye!